Hey, I'm Daniel, and welcome to Pokemon Explained. In this video, I'm going to explain why you need, or should very much consider, getting a male Gyarados at the Lake of Rage in Pokemon Gold and in Pokemon Silver. This is because having a shiny Pokemon when breeding in the second generation, it increases the chance of the offspring being shiny too. There are some pretty hefty mechanics behind this, and I'm going to explain most of them with visual examples, so you can breed some shiny Pokemon in Gold and Silver. What you need to know about shiny Pokemon in the second generation is that the shininess is determined by a certain combination of its stats. This was later changed to where there's now a shiny, true, or false code instead. Because this is not the case in Pokemon Gold and Silver, let's have some fun with it. The details for which stats that are passed down can be found on Bulbapedia, but as you may see, the description of these mechanics are pretty hard to understand. I therefore decided to do my best at breaking this down for you visually. What you need to be aware of is that it is the opposite gender offspring that can have the chance of being shiny, in the majority of cases. The exceptions, other than Ditto, I do not want to try and explain. If Ditto is shiny, the offspring has a 1 in 64 chance of being shiny. Therefore, a shiny Ditto in Pokemon Gold and Silver is very valuable. If you don't have a shiny Ditto, and because getting a shiny Ditto is pretty difficult, we need to find a way to work around that, and our solution is our male shiny Gyarados. Also, an important note here before we proceed is to check out the Pokemon Explained episode covering egg groups if you don't know what those are. You need this for the next part to be understandable. This visual example shows you the process of getting a shiny Pokemon in the daycare. You put the male shiny Gyarados in the daycare. Because the shininess is passed down to the opposite gender offspring, you can see that in this example, we would eventually get a shiny female Ekans. Because it's only 50% females of the 1 in 64 egg hatches that can be shiny, our odds are 1 divided by 2 times 1 divided by 64, which is 1 in 128. What you can now do is to use the female shiny Ekans and male shiny Gyarados and hope for a male shiny Ekans. The odds of getting a shiny male Ekans is 1 in 128, and if you keep the male Gyarados, you will also have another 1 in 128 chance of getting another female shiny Ekans. Maybe you can trade shinies with other Pokemon trainers. When you then get the shiny male Ekans, what you have done is that you have unlocked the field egg group. As you now have a male shiny Pokemon, what you can now do is to repeat the process. Find a new Pokemon, one that does have 2 egg groups, one that you have already, and one that you don't, and so you can work your way to get a male shiny Pokemon in the new egg group also. What I want from you now is to do some research and talk in the comments about ways to access new egg groups. What Pokemon do you have to breed from the male shiny Gyarados to unlock new egg groups? And I encourage you to trade some shiny Pokemon with each other. Talk to people in our NPC headquarters over at Discord.
That was it for this video. If you liked what you saw and are into Pokemon videos, why not subscribe and join the NPCs? I recommend you to have a look at the playlist called Best Videos, Earth Panther, to watch some high quality Pokemon content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, be your very best.